Guys, we're talking about a club that is saying they are taking a classic blade looking club to the new level, or to a new level. It's a club that you're seeing quite a lot on YouTube at the moment. It's one that's doing really well, and I do have to say that it's one of probably the best looking golf clubs on the market in this kind of category. But today I'm going to start with a 4-iron. We're going to put it to the test out on the golf course and in the simulator against my bladed irons. Straight away there, a nice, strong, penetrating ball flight, which was exactly what you'd expect to see from a 4-iron. But there, certainly a great feel, and there's a few certain talking points that we need to cover with these irons, because they're not like any other. So guys, I actually had to hit 2 golf balls off this tee because the audio unfortunately didn't work on the first take that we did. But we can see consistency there. 2 4-irons, 2 similar ball flights, doing exactly what you would expect from a premium club. And obviously the clubs we are talking about, guys, are the Vega Mizar Pro irons. So very interesting irons here, and I think I've still got a 5-iron here into the green. Very interesting irons here because we've got that weight system in the back. So here we can see that we have got a weight port where they have changed that throughout the irons. So obviously in your long irons we have got a tungsten weighting. We've then got down into your mid irons, we've got titanium, and then in the smaller irons, the shorter irons and your pitching wedge and your 9-iron, we've got aluminium. So certainly changing the different weights in there, and again that's to optimize flight and feel. So normally when you see a bladed iron, you see that it's forged, it's a one-piece mechanism, there's no real weighting or weights put in there, you know what you're getting. But here obviously Vega have took it to that next level to optimize that feel and still get that performance. And another fantastic ball flight there, coming back round nicely to the green. I'm going to give a pitching wedge a go. That's just missed. I need to play a bump and run here, and now it's going through the bag. How does it feel off that pitching wedge? Does it feel drastically different with that different weight? So guys, there we've talked about that technology in there, and we know that that is something different that you don't see from other brands. I've managed to leave myself possibly the hardest chip shot I could with a bump and run here. So we've got a huge slope onto the next tier that I've got to use. But one of the other unique things I say is obviously with it being a bladed iron, you often think that it's going to be a smaller top edge, it's going to be nice and thin. We can see even here on the pitching wedge we've got a large top edge there. Not much offset, which is exactly what we'd expect to see, but I wouldn't expect to see that kind of top line. And we've been out here today testing some Tiger Woods irons, so if I get the pitching wedge here and put that next to it, again we start to look, we can see there's a big difference there in that top edge. Certainly the Tiger Woods ones, much more compact, exactly what you'd expect to see, but these are trying to go alongside that, but also give you that little bit of forgiveness. But these clubs could then be obviously directed at more than obviously your single figure golfers. These could be irons that maybe a mid-handicapper uses because of that top edge, gives you that confidence, and with the weight system we've got that little bit more forgiveness from heel to toe. Again, that felt good off the face, feels nice and soft. Take the bank, pretty good. Again, a nice feel off that kind of club for that shot, so we can use it for that. It doesn't obviously stand out on that kind of shot compared to the full irons with that aluminium weight in the bottom. Let's get in the studio now, let's get these tested against my Tacoma 301 MBs and maybe a truer blade, see what the numbers are in differences, see what the flights are, see how they compare. So guys, inside now we want to put these to the test, so I'm going to go with a mid-iron here. So the mid-iron does have the titanium weight in there, so again, what kind of feel will we get off here? Distance wise, this is a 7-iron, I've got it set at 164 yards, which should be about right for a good 7-iron. So let's see again what flight we get with this. Again, a slight miss hit there, so very interesting there. Let's see if it reaches the green there with a miss hit. Pretty good, 155 carry, certainly off the heel there, but I still got that distance that I would expect, so that's good to see. Spin down at 5,600. Again, a nice towering ball flight, so in from a miss hit. Again, that's me leaking it there out to the right, but an everyday golfer would do as well. 160 carry, going onto the middle of the green, so just right of the flag, but we would have a chance at obviously 2 putting from there. So interesting. Certainly does feel a little bit different to that long iron, especially when we was out on the golf course. Let's see if I can get one more. Okay, so bit better shot there, better strike. Let's see, 155 carry going on there. So interesting enough, guys, these are more traditional lofts, again, very similar to my Tacoma. So 4 iron coming at 21 degrees and my Tacoma coming at 22. So 6 irons matching up, 7 irons matching up. So certainly being able to get the feedback here. So in now with the 7 iron from my Tacomas, let's start to see, does the ball flight change? Nope, similar trajectory there, if anything, just as high. Distance-wise, 155 carry, so start line was better there. Again, start line is because of me, not because of the golf clubs. So let's go one more again with this Tacoma. Okay, a little bit thin there, so that's probably going to just get there, 155. Start line better again, but not the strike I wanted. So interestingly enough there, we're starting to see similar distance as you would expect. Obviously, the one big elephant in the room that we haven't talked about is the price of these. A set of 4 iron to pitching wedge on screen now you can see is just under or around £1,800. And when we're talking price, is that what obviously a lot of people look at first? Is it price first and then performance? Because this is what we need to think there. That's launched a little bit higher with the Tacoma. Has it reached? A little bit short. So, interesting, guys. Obviously, performance-wise, yes, we did hit all of them on the green with that Vega iron. Again, not great strikes from both irons, but we got that little bit more forgiveness. So, from that weight that is in there, I've certainly been able to miss-hit it and still get my number. Again, the deviation from front to back was much closer than maybe with this Tacoma. But I'm going to go down now to that pitching wedge and start to see, do I get a different feel with the Vega? Do I start to get it? Again, not quite getting there with these Tacomas. So am I starting to get a different feel with that pitching wedge? So as we know, price is one big thing when we talk about Vegas. 4 to pitching wedge coming in at around about £1,800. Compare those to the Tacomas, they are starting to come in a lot cheaper. Performance-wise there, obviously we saw the off-centered hits, which pretty much was all of those shots there. The Vegas did perform, so obviously the weights in there are helping me get that little bit more forgiveness from heel to toe. But that's nearly £1,300 more to buy the Vega. So you've got to think performance or price, or you're going to get a combination of both. And comment below, do you have the Vegas? Have you had Vegas in the past? Where did you get them from and are you enjoying them? I've certainly enjoyed the feel. They are certainly doing that. But profile-wise, as you'll see on screen now, they are looking a lot thicker top edge compared to a more traditional blade style irons. So you are getting that little bit more forgiveness. Are you getting the looks? What would you prefer? It's all different things that you've got to take into account, and that's why fitting is so important and getting a good look at those clubs, because looks give you confidence, confidence give you better shots, and then from there that helps you lower your scores. But now down into that pitching wedge that we did again hit outside, but just on that chip shot. I want to see here, am I getting that a different feel? I certainly felt it and felt a little bit of a different sound in here with that 7 iron, but let's see, obviously pitching wedge wise, can I flight this in? Certainly looks rather chunky for this kind of club. If we put it down next to my Tacoma, and like we did see outside compared to those Tiger Woods ones especially, certainly much bigger. But nice trajectory there, nice and easy to hit, does feel good, pin high, so it's doing exactly what it says on the tin. Obviously they are performing well, but that's what we certainly expect for close to £1,800. So let's see if I can do a different flight now, knock it back in my stance. Let's see if we've got the versatility. Yeah, half the flight there. Nice and aggressive. And there's certainly irons I do like. Again, I like the look of those. Obviously, bag appeal wise, they look great. top edge is something that would put me off, but you might be someone who goes, that gives me a little bit of confidence. So certainly a great club. I want to hit a couple more with that 4-iron that we hit outside, see the numbers, and see obviously if they are comparing well to the Tacomas, if there's something that certainly I would look at putting in the bag, but I might have to have a whip round to afford them. So let's have a look here. Again, 4-iron down. This certainly looks a little bit better. Doesn't look as thick over the edge of the ball, but really in this kind of iron, your longer irons, I'd probably be more happy to see that a little bit of a thicker top edge, knowing I've got that forgiveness. I've struck that well. Extremely high towering flight there, and you can't grumble at that. 198 carry, gone 204. On this occasion would have just gone over the green, but an extremely solid hit there. Did feel fantastic, felt fantastic outside on the golf course. Again, that tungsten weight does feel a little bit more solid to me compared to the mid iron and the short iron. So very interesting there. You might look at a set where you go for something this in the top end of the bag and then go for something more forgiving lower down, but let's see. And it's a towering flight. It's a great ball flight there, nice and high. That's going to land on the green, and that's too well with inside tour average. So again, 193 carry, stopping pretty quick at 199. So a fantastic iron, guys, but this is one certainly that you would need to think about your budget. Would you rather save some money, even getting some tightly, some TaylorMade, some Cobras, some Callaways, all different options that are still even there going to save you maybe £600-700, and maybe be able to afford a holiday, more lessons, a green fee, or a trip somewhere abroad or local with that extra money?